Nothing.
It's Friday afternoon, which means it's time for your favorite comedy talk show, The Random Kristian Show. Today, The Random Kristian Show is interviewing pastor and author Mark Sowersby. The Random Kristian Show is brought to you by Mrs. A's Famous Salsa Buena. 3 unique blended salsas made with fresh cilantro and just the right amount of heat. To find a store near you, just visit mrsafamous.com. The Random Kristian Show is proudly supported by The Advisor. Created by Colonel James Neal Broaddus, this Facebook group is a great resource and network for creatives. Contact them on Facebook at The Advisor. The Random Kristian Show can now be seen and heard on the Rabbit in Red Radio Network. Check them out at rabbitinredradio.com. Intro music provided by the Dead Campers. Check them out on Spotify or at deadcampers.com. Are you looking to add your logo or design to apparel, banners, or other promotional products? Check out Creative Coatings KC for all your branding needs. You can find them online at creativecoatingskc.com. Like what you hear? Don't forget to take a quick second to like, follow, and subscribe to get notifications when we go live. Now here's your host, Kristian Random.
Okay. Hold on. Let's just give it a second. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
We're still on.
Yeah.
The internet's held.
Everything's good.
Yes. Yes.
So I think what
Mars.
Not the fact that so I think what happened last week is that I was first on the show. I think that's what happened. And
I think it was Stardate log.
When we tried to bring you in, even though you were on the surface of Mars, I think that Restream just can't deal with the fact that the random
it was Spectrum.
The Random Kristian Show started with Andy instead of Kristian. And it's like, nope, we're screwing
time continuum.
Everything up. That's what we're doing.
That's more than likely how
I think so. Yeah.
Space-time continuum got all screwed up. It's no Kristian, it's Andy, and there's a log. What the hell is going on? Things are not the way they should. And it just shuts. Spectrum pulled the plug because they thought things were wrong.
Exactly. Right.
So actually, Spectrum was looking out for us.
They were. Yeah.
But in a very bad way.
In an awful way. In the worst way. We should have had I think I needed to report as an eligible receiver with Spectrum prior to going live on the show.
No, we're not doing football-ese. No, I know it's Super Bowl weekend, but we are not doing. I'm in the heart of this football crap show.
Yeah.
I have to work tomorrow. Get this. I have to work my job tomorrow so we can have Sunday and Monday off because these guys can't handle watching a football game and we're reporting for work the next day.
Of course. Well, yeah. Yeah. People have long been wanting the day after Super Bowl to be an actual national holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, well, they're getting it.
No,
if you live in the city that
cheats their way to the Super Bowl,
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually in one of my feeds in Instagram or Facebook, something, whatever, one of the social media things. Come in. I started seeing like these instant replays of not instant, they were obviously just replays at that point,
right? Yeah.
Because instant would mean that it just happened, so
correct.
I get it. Okay, there's also continuum there, but I saw some of these plays. I was like, that's an incomplete pass. I mean, the years I watched, played football, and studied football, and I know these things. And even even when my team had a bad call, and trust me, I was a Raiders fan, and I still am in a way, but I would be like, no, we got away with that.
Yeah, there's the favoritism argument is very heavy this year. For
almost feel like the Patriots in a way.
In a way. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mark's about to blow up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Mark's gonna leave before he even comes on.
Because I can't express how much as a Raiders fan, I want to break Tom Brady's face.
All right.
So, Mr. Oh, I'm in the grasp. Oh, I don't. Oh, sorry. And yeah, well, it should have been 6
we see it.
because you shouldn't have gone to the Super Bowl that one.
We're jealous. We're just jealous for a stable franchise. That's all. As Raider fans,
no, that's why sports just suck.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough being a
surfing, skating.
Yeah,
those are a lifestyle.
There you go. No, for sure.
And you don't rely on anybody else or anything. It's just you.
You have control over it.
Street. And
in a way, gravity does play a very, very big part in skating.
Oh yeah.
That's why I don't. Gravity and I are not friends.
Golf, tennis. Those are all great. Well, tennis, you got to have somebody to play with. So never mind. Tennis is out. Tennis is out.
Oh, you can play with a wall in tennis.
True.
Yeah, but the wall always wins.
I know. Well, there was one time where the racket didn't win.
Right.
Because the wall was cheating.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey, welcome to the sports edition of the Random Christian Show. I'm Kristian. That right there is Andrew. And we're actually very excited because we didn't make it to Mars the way we should have last week. Because Emperor Musk channeled us in the wrong satellite system with Spectrum, who was obviously not part of the DOGE. And no, I'm not saying the word because I think it's stupid. You just say doggy, not Doge. Oh, wait, it's a Bitcoin, which is fake monopoly money. So let's just get that out right now.
It's funny though, because there was the Doge meme,
right?
Like years ago, right? And I just find it weird that they would literally, even though it's called the Department of Government Efficiency, right? Why?
I get that.
But again, why shorten it to a meme of a smiling dog?
Because it's Elon Musk.
Why?
Why make an electric truck that looks like a backwards triangle?
Did I tell you that my son is completely obsessed with the Cybertruck?
No. Sorry, Xander.
Yeah, I know.
It's not really a truck. It's just an
electric battle wagon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it looks cool when it's
I would love to see
trying to charge and
like I know that it wouldn't survive in a zombie apocalypse just because you couldn't charge it anymore, right? But I would love to see the like battle tank version of a zombie apocalypse Cybertruck.
Yeah, but it would need solar panels for it to
would
actually
100% need solar panels. Yeah,
actually, make sense in the charging spectrum.
All right, now I need to write this into my zombie fan fiction. Thanks.
Based off Doge and Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
So we'll call it the Cyber Doge.
There you go.
Apocalypse.
Yes.
That we have nachos for. So anyway, so Mars sucks, and we all know that. So we're not going to Mars. We went one better.
Yeah,
we did. That's right. Because here at the Random Christian Show, we don't just monkey around and say, "Oh well, we failed at that. Oh well, life sucks." No, we move on. We move forward. We move ahead. We take advantage of everything that we can to bring you something better, which is, I know. Everybody's going to say, "Oh, Jupiter." No. Oh, Saturn, because it's got the pretty rings. Okay, the pretty rings are just clusters of rocks. They're not really rings. They're just some kind of orbiting factor of rocks and ice. Okay, so no, they aren't really rings. So Saturn's a lie. We didn't want to lie to you. Okay. We got Venus. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Going to Venus.
Going to Venus, baby.
Yeah.
Because, Men are from Mars.
Right. And podcasters are from
Venus, along with women, apparently.
Right. So, yes. Right.
Which, hey.
Well, and that's funny because our random 9 list it's the 9 random reasons we're colonizing Venus instead of Mars.
Whoa. I was behind on the time. I'm sorry. Is that too much? Is it too loud? Is the band too loud? Is the band too loud?
It was a little bit. Yeah. Tell him to turn him down. That's a little too low. There you go. That's perfect.
There.
Yeah.
See? There's always a happy medium. Unless you're broadcasting to Mars.
That's right. Yeah.
So now we have a new random 9 list for this week, compiled by Xander and his mates, we shall say. So what do we got here, Andy?
Okay, so again, we have the 9 random reasons that we're going to Venus instead of Mars.
Well, isn't that topical?
Isn't it?
I mean, it just
fits
right into the plan. How does it get any better than this?
Yeah.
And this internet's still working. Hello.
And it is. It's just crazy. And you're on. Like your camera hasn't fizzled out yet. I mean, Yeah. Communicator. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we're good. I got it.
Okay, we're good. Yeah.
Trying to come in.
No, coming in.
Actually, we are trying to get a hold of someone on Venus, the ambassador for Venus.
Yeah. So hang tight on. Yeah, that's
not happening yet, but it will because we're trying to transmission. Not transgender, transmission. Let's clearing all the DEI stuff out. We're just being safe with transmission. Cars. And anyway, so random 9 list. Why Venus is better, or I'm sorry.
What 9 random reasons why we're colonizing Venus instead of Mars now?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because Venus rules.
Right. So yeah. So number 9.
There we
go. Number 9. Thankfully, on Venus, we aren't going to be forced to watch another Kansas City, Philadelphia Super Bowl this week.
Yes. Yeah. Oh wait,
no, that was good. Yeah.
Did the bruh come through?
Bruh.
There
it goes.
Bruh.
There it goes.
New sound effect.
Yeah.
New sound effect. Liking it.
I played these games before.
Yeah.
So number 8.
Ocho.
So if you wanted to get super technical, the only inhabitable spot of Venus is actually the cloud region. So I can actually set up a full-scale replica of Cloud City from The Empire Strikes Back and make that, and make that what's going on in
and so then we
would live in the clouds.
Yeah.
So like if you wanted to have a palace in the sky, you could finally have a palace in the sky.
So basically it's my high school years and early college years all over again.
There you go. Exactly. Right.
And pretty much up into my 40s.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm good.
There you go. All right. Number 7.
Siete.
So because it's closer to the sun, it's really, really hot on Venus. So it's the perfect spot for some Hilton hotels.
Oh,
that's hot. That's hot. Sorry.
Oh, I
couldn't.
I got to talk to Xander, and when we get these kind of jokes, I could have a topical sound effect.
Yeah.
That's hot.
That's hot.
That's hot. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. That's Riz, brah. Which I have no idea what Riz means, so I hope I use that the right way, kids.
Okay, so according to my son, Riz is just the shortened version of charisma. So if you have a lot of Riz, you have a lot of charisma.
Oh, sorry, wrong sound effect.
Right. All right.
Okay, moving forward with the Shizlo.
Yes, number 6.
Number 6.
A day on
I'm saying that for our Hispanic friends that might be listening.
Of course, right, because we automatically get translated into other languages.
In a way. Oh,
Sure.
so if I say Mexican words, they get translated back into English?
Or maybe just the translation goes away at that
And
point.
then I'm just mouthing things and like, what's wrong with the fade?
Right. Yeah.
Of course, they wouldn't say it that way. They wouldn't say it with
right.
Okay. Sorry.
Anyway,
Here,
number
let me do it again. Let me do it again.
Thank you.
Number 6 says.
So a day on Venus lasts longer than its year. Let that sink in, which is weird. The day is actually longer than the year. So you'd age faster, but you would look better older.
Oh my God. That one's hurting my head.
Yeah, so it goes around the sun faster than it actually rotates, which is nuts. Isn't that crazy? Right? Yeah. See? Head exploding. Boom.
Ow.
I heard. Yeah. Red alert. Red alert.
No. Okay. Number
five.
Number 5.
Number 5.
I'm echoing.
We'd all be about 20 pounds lighter on Venus, so maybe I can fit back in those pants.
Well, either way. Where am I? I'm feeding back somewhere.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Or it's the voices in my head again because
you sound.
We were in Cloud City.
We were. You sound fine though, so maybe it's just on your end.
Again,
I did not say smell fine. I said sound fine.
Either way.
Right.
It's all right under the hat. Okay. Hey, guess what?
Number 4.
Number 4, Quattro.
So there's no natural water on Venus. So like a beverage sponsorship is prime for the taking.
Yeah.
So like Venus brought to you by Red Bull. I mean,
yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the Mars.
Oh, right.
That was the Mars trip. So
that's true.
I guess it'd have to be Life Water?
No. Maybe, or lemonade or something, or like Country Time lemonade. I don't know. No.
Nah. Minute Maid.
No.
Nah.
Yeah. No.
Nah. It's got to be something hip. We'll work on it.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, Mrs. A's famous salsa buena.
Technically not a beverage.
Could be.
Could be. Venus. We could drink it. We could drink it on Venus and be fine.
See?
You never know.
There's a solution for everything with Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. All right.
There you go.
Number 3, Chris.
Because it's so hot on Venus, rain actually never reaches the surface. So it would be dry all the time if that's your thing. So like if you just want to live a place where it never rains.
Don't tell my wife this.
No.
Don't tell my wife. Number 1, warm and no rain.
Right.
Hello.
Yeah.
Of course, they probably play the Blind Melon song all the time. No rain.
That's true. Yeah, it's just on a constant loop over there.
Yeah, you'd have to. It'd be like working pop radio back in the 90s.
That's right. Yeah, I know, right? Every third song was No Rain by Blind Melon.
By the way, could you guys play No Rain again? Don't worry. It's going to come up about 5 more times within the next hour. So you'll be all right.
So you just missed it while we were on the phone.
I was going to say, you just missed it, but give it about 5 minutes. It'll be back on the air.
Yeah.
And if not, just change to a station down the road because I'm sure they're playing it right now.
Yeah.
In fact, you're missing it. Oh, my God.
It's coming right up after Creed.
Oh, my friend, let me down. Okay. That was kind of an Eddie Vedder Creed.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Not bad, though.
Thank you. And scene.
Okay. And scene. Number 2.
Dose. Number 2. Again, for our Spanish speaking.
So we've definitely established that Venus is closer to the sun. So it would actually take less time to get that perfect tan, even though you'd need like SPF 10,000.
Basically, lead paint
right.
all
Yeah.
over your body.
Yeah.
And
you go out completely covered in white, like you don't need to rub it in. It's just like a shield. But then, like 10 minutes, you're good.
So basically, me after winter,
right?
walk outside naked, reflecting.
Unfortunately, you would burn up instantly the second you stepped outside.
But hey, all those pesky pounds would be gone.
That's very true.
So
that is very true.
I'd be svelte and incredibly tan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got that going for me.
yeah.
All right. Numero uno. Number one.
We're going to Venus instead of Mars. Since those books came out, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it looks like the ratio is in the men's favor, right? And we've settled on the perfect ambassador for the planet. He came out and said, you know what? I want this job. I am going to be the ambassador for Venus.
Really?
So I think we need, can we send a,
okay.
Can we send a signal over to Venus to get him in?
Let's see what we can do here. Hang on.
All right.
Get my computer meter going. Yeah.
Communicator.
And hello, Venus. Come in, Venus. Ambassador of Venus.
We got some magic happening here. Here it comes. Let's get the graphic up. We won't get live video because here we go. Coming in right now.
There it is. Oh my gosh. We wondered where he's been. Hello, former President, Mr. Bill Clinton, 42nd President of the United States. He is the ambassador of Venus. Hey, how y'all doing? How's it going out there, guys? Andy, can you?
Yeah, Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton, how is it out there?
Hey, how y'all doing out there? I'm on Venus. Guess what? This is where all the chicks is. I love it out here, man.
How are you dealing with the heat?
Oh, dude, flip flops and a little clam bake going on. It's a good time every day, baby. And margaritas are free for the women. Just yeah.
So, Mr. Clinton, former President Clinton, is it true? Are women from Venus? Are the ladies from Venus there? How are they?
Oh man. Let me tell you about the women on Venus. They're hot in more ways than one. Hey, that's an inside joke. If you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes, things get a little hairy, but we just make sure everybody gets shaved and cleaned up and we're good to go, man. It's good times. I can't lie.
Excellent. How was the trip over there? Was the trip over there hard at all, or?
I slept the entire time. That's why I've been up for half a year at this point. So, and hey, mum's the word, don't tell Hill. Okay.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I flew back for that, Trump and his thing going on, whatever. Hey, I know I look good, don't I?
Yep.
That's what all the chicks here say.
I think you're safe. I don't think Hillary watches the show.
Oh, well, she's crafty. She is. Right. She's that one the Beastie Boys wrote that song about. Hey,
that's right.
She's crafty. Right. She gets around. She's crafty. She's always down and annoying the hell out of me. I don't know what. Anyway, so
former President Clinton, thank you so much for checking in with us. I know that you're very busy.
Phil, is that you, Phil? Oh my God, she found me. I can't believe this. I'm on Venus. I think she found Bill, what are you doing? Where have you been, Bill? I gotta go, guys. Man,
I think former President Clinton has his hands full. Thank you, former President.
Hey, it's been fun. I'll talk to you all later, okay?
Thank you so much.
Damn it. What happened? He just cut the line, dude.
Yeah, that was a very big
Oh my!
It's crazy. I think
Yeah.
we should check in with him while we run the Mrs. A salsa ad. What do you think?
I'm gonna get the communications going again with the old communicator here. You know.
Okay,
No,
and
Billy,
yeah.
Billy.
And
Come on.
until then, let's learn about our sponsor, the great Mrs. A, and her famous salsa.
Yes. You know the holidays are upon us, and what isn't more festive than salsa? What, you don't think salsa screams happy holidays? Well, then you haven't had Mrs. A's famous salsa buena. It's made with the freshest ingredients and delicious cilantro. Mrs. A's has 3 amazing flavors that beg to be paired with your holiday treats. There's the original, which pleases even the most finicky of tastes. Then there's the amazing salsa verde that would make even the Grinch smile with delight. And to warm you up, the hot salsa has just enough heat and it's full of flavor. Now the best part is there's no onions. That's right, so you won't be ruining the fun or your date with onion breath. Mrs. A's famous salsa buena is located in the refrigeration section of your favorite grocer to stay as fresh and delicious as possible. You can find Mrs. A's famous salsa buena from the West Coast all the way through the Rockies and expanding every day. If you can't find it, demand that your grocer go get Mrs. A's famous salsa buena and get your holidays partying. Go to Mrs. You know, one thing we should do is maybe send Bill a case of salsa. So
probably good. Yeah, probably
he'll have something to drink out there because apparently he's going to be running from Hillary for a while.
I think so. Yeah,
I'm just saying. You know,
yeah,
that's the way things roll, and that's the way Billy rolls because he's the man. Oh, you hear that? You know what that means? When the world's running down, you make the best of what's still around. That's the police's motto.
There you go.
And it's also this man's motto. Our returning guest, he's written a book. He's actually written 2 books now. Forgive Me the Nightmare, which is now becoming a movie and hopefully a major movie to be released soon. It is our good friend, returning guest. Please welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, Pastor Mark Sowersby. Hey!
Thank you very much.
No. Thank you, my man. How you doing, brother?
I am well. How are you guys?
Obviously doing a lot better than old Billy. I
learned a lot about Venus just a few minutes ago. So,
dude, didn't it sound like he was talking out of like a plastic water bottle or something?
You know, it did have that. It did have that sound. Yeah, we're going to live in the clouds. We're going to be drinking Red Bulls or Monster drink. I get it.
Mrs. A's famous salsa buena.
Now, is Mrs. A go? Is she going with the salsa to Venus to Bill? Or is
she may deliver?
She may deliver. Okay.
She's got connections. She's well known, and she is expanding her reach. You know, she's
moving universe wide. Wherever the universe goes, Mrs. A's follows.
Yeah,
pretty much.
The western region of the U.S. and Venus. That's where we are right now.
Bypassing Mars.
Yeah,
that's it. That's right. Just keep going.
Mars is,
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, let's just not even ever mention Mars again.
Right.
Because, on Mars, Mars bars are just called bars.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're done. We're done with Mars. Yeah, we're done with it. No more Martians, no more Mar bars. We're done. It's over.
It's over with. We're, I mean, who cares? It's the red planet. It's whatever. It's kind of racist in a way. I'm just saying, anyway. So Mark, thank you so much for taking time out of your crazy schedule. Man, you're like all over the place tonight. You're on a daily TV show, correct?
Yeah, I'm on it once a week on the TCT network.
Oh, once a week. Okay, I thought it was a daily thing. I'm sorry.
Well, it's on every day, but I'm only on it once a week. So.
Yeah. And the prep time for it is horrendous. Well, you have to wait like 2 hours just to get on.
We get on and they set us up. The producer, director, they really do a good job. They make me sound good, look good. I learned the magic.
That head of hair, that can't be that hard. Good Lord. But no, that's really cool. And it's what's it called? Ask the Pastor, right?
Pastor. It's on TCT. Again, it's a daily show, and every day they have a panel of pastors, and people text in, call different questions, and I'm one panelist out of a group of 4 on Mondays that people ask questions to, and it's a great show.
One fourth of the show. Quit downplaying it, for God's sakes. Um, no, that's really, I mean, that's super cool. I mean, and you've been doing a lot of TV appearances with Forgiving the Nightmare book, correct?
Sure. Yeah. Forgive the Nightmare got a lot of doors.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, no,
it's fun.
Yes. Whatever. Call my people. My people will talk to your people. No, it's there's been a lot of doors.
Our people
open.
is Andy's son, so
right.
you've seen the extent of that, and you'll hear him yelling at the TV soon, so it'll be fine.
That's it. Yeah, a lot of doors have been open for us to share the testimony, the story, and the journey of forgiveness. So there's a lot of doors. Yeah.
Which again, some people, I mean, we have a much bigger audience now. We've done a little growing, Mark. I'm just saying.
Me too. Me too.
Well, we're not talking nachos growing. We're talking audience. But no. So let's kind of recap. You started off writing a book about surviving some abuse.
That's right. That's right.
If you want to give a quick synopsis.
Yeah, real quick, don't want to make light of it. Don't want to, but at the ages of 7 to 14, I was horribly abused. I grew up in a home with dysfunction and pain. I was molested. I was sold to others. I was beaten, burnt, and obviously that ugliness and the fear of all that turmoil in my life really just was a very painful, dark part of my life. And I became a person of faith. I accepted Jesus Christ to be my Lord and Savior. Now, how do I reconcile those seasons, and how do I work through that? How do I be a man of faith and belief, and also have these hurts and pains? And so, I had to turn to my faith. I went into prayer. I went to God's Word. I went there, and that's where I started to find hope and peace. And I went on this journey, and that's what I call it, a journey of forgiveness. So my story of Forgiving the Nightmare is not just about abuse. You hear my personal testimony, and people go, "Oh, wow, you had it bad." And it was ugly, but I realized there's so many kinds of nightmares, addictions and deaths and sorrows and pains. So I like to think that my story is not just about neglect and abuse, but it's about that journey of forgiveness, how one comes out. How do we still keep our sanity? How do we still live day to day? How do we go to church and pray? How do we, love our neighbor? How do we get through life? And that's what the journey of forgiveness was for me. And that's what I preach, proclaim, and that's what my book, Forgiving the Nightmare, is about.
And just an amazing story of, again, your survival through it all. I mean, you could have gone so many different ways with what happened to you, and how you turn around and forgave your abusers, and made peace with it, and came out, with God's grace. It's just, it really is. I mean, yeah, it's an amazing read. So please, and you can find that book on Amazon, correct?
You can, yeah.
Amazon, and I'm sure there's probably a couple other book sites that you're on, or just go to forgivingthenightmare.com. Hello, and hey, Leon Purley, how you doing, my friend? I got to talk to you, by the way, sir. Anyway, so yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Let's put the crawler up that's got your website right on it, because as a good host, I do these kinds of things. Let's see where. Okay, there we go to find out more about Mark. And now, Forgiving the Nightmare has become a bit of a celluloid adventure, hasn't it?
Well, we were able to, by just God's grace and putting all the right people together, working with a great team. I got a great director. We were able to put together a short film. So the film itself is about 15 minutes long. Well, I think it's about 19 minutes long. And we were able to put it in film festivals and get some attention, some buzz. Our hope and our prayer is that it'll become a feature film. But right now, we've won some film festivals. We're up for a crowd award. Right now, we're up for the best short film. at the Crown Awards, which they tell me is a good thing. They tell me as my director kind of handles all that stuff. My director Enrique, and he says, "Mark, God's doing a lot of good things in it." So again, I want to tell the story either on film or in person or in book because it's a testimony. And a testimony of saying, listen, you don't have to be trapped. You don't have to walk with this pain and this hurt always before you. I know we summed it up there in about 2 seconds, but but that journey to go on and to walk through that and to be able to come out at the end and say, I'll be able to forgive those who trespass against me.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ups and downs, lefts and rights. I shook my fist at heaven more than once. I asked the big question, why and where and how. But again, on that journey is where I think many people are. Many people walk through that season. So that's what we talk about in our book. And that's what we tell on film. And that's what I tell when I preach and share it.
So I know that you obviously you went through this and then you dealt with it in the most amazing way that you did, in terms of again, like you said, forgiving it and coming around and being this sort of, now this beacon of hope that this can happen to you and you can come out on the other end and be okay. What was it like for you during the movie making process of looking at the images, even though that it's that you're recreating this, right? But again, you're kind of watching it happen again, right?
Well, every time I've told the story, I've kind of shared it from outside. The grace, the forgiveness, and the peace that I got is truly from the Lord. It's from God himself. So I walk in that freedom that God's given me. So oftentimes when I share it, I'm not reliving it. Believe me, I poured that out at the altar. I poured that out on in tears. But you're right. When I was there in on set, the man who played my abuser, his name's Scott. Great guy, really nice guy. But when he went into character, I almost had to leave the room. Not because he was a bad guy. He just nailed it. And it was he portrayed the ugliness of the story really well. And even though I went through this journey, doesn't mean I don't have triggers.
Right.
And in those moments when those triggers happen, I have to go to my place of faith. I go to my place and say, I'm not owned by these triggers. I'm not owned by this sickness, this disease, this pain, this hurt, this nightmare, this abuse. These things don't own me because now I'm owned by the love of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Because I mean, to properly convey the message, like they need to show the emotion of the moment.
They did.
And they need to really bring those feelings, and you need to feel it. And so I can only imagine what it was like for you sort of being there in the moment, but again, you mentioned your strength and faith, and that's incredible and I know that I said this the last time that you were on the show. It's so incredible that you have that on your side to get through it, even in those moments too.
Well, I'll say this journey, and I don't, if you came to hear me in a sermon, you'll often hear me say, I didn't start by going, hey, I want to forgive this person. I wanted my pound of flesh. I wanted my revenge. I wanted what I felt was owed to me. I wanted this person to suffer, because of what they did. So this journey didn't start with me saying, I want to forgive. This journey started with me saying, God, I want you.
Yeah.
And I didn't start by saying I'm going to forgive. I started by saying, God, if you're real, if you're true, if you're just, if your spirit and your word is really what it's supposed to be, lead me to you. So first I sought the Lord, and seeking the Lord, he would bring me to forgiveness, and he'd bring me on a journey. Like David said, I had to walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but I feared no evil. And that's what that journey was. It was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tears, a lot of doubts, but a lot of grace too.
And to be surrounded by the people that you ended up being surrounded, like you said, your friends all just stepped up and supported you and in fun, I guess. I mean, they worked with you, having a sense. I mean, your sense of humor about the whole thing is just such an amazing. I mean, I'm sure the actor that played your abuser, now that he's locked up in a psych ward and you beat the crap out of him when nobody was looking. Not that I know that, I'm just suggesting. But anyway, the other day when we were just kind of doing our little talk, you were talking about how your friends would make jokes.
Yeah, I think that humor is such a part of the process. Not that we're laughing or making light or saying what happened to somebody was
Absolutely.
comedy. Not at
Yeah.
all. I mean, the
Right.
traumas are real. But I think when you're walking through that process of the same tears that fill your eye, the same frustration that can fill your spirit, sometimes you just need to take that moment to breathe.
Yeah.
And laughter helped me breathe. So yeah, I think that anybody who knows me and knew me then, humor, sometimes not the uh, probably some of the weirdest humor a person could have, but some of that humor really helped me on that journey. It was just the moments that allowed me to breathe. It was like every day the heaviness of the past was always about me, and I had to find a place to kind of have that relief valve. So yeah, I had friends that knew me enough that could
And that you could trust with
yeah,
their
you could
opinion.
trust, but by not making me feel, oh, you're not normal, or
Right.
by being able to have some of that inner humor that only friends can have. But I think that humor's, and I see this as a show of humor. I love it. I love the show, and I like to think that I have a bit of a comedy side too. Not that I make the past. It's not about being a comic, but again, in those moments when we're just going, oh man, it feels like the weight of the world's on me. Dude,
Yeah.
maybe take a moment and
And
smile. I mean,
and it's a great example for other people who hear your story or need to hear your story that are being suffered through abuse. You know that there is light, and whether you find it through God or not, there is a way to get out of it. Get out of it, move away from it, save yourself, find someone to help you save yourself if you can, but recognize it is not the end.
that's right.
And
The
do
worst part
not
of your life doesn't have to be the sum of your life. The
Yeah.
worst moment, that worst second, that the alcoholic that was trapped in a bottle, the person that was abused like me, that does not have to be the sum. Yeah, it happened. It's a part of our story. It's part of our narrative. It's part of who I am. I'll always be there, but it doesn't have to dictate the rest of my life. I
Yeah.
can love. I can be free. I can live my life, and that's what I found through grace and hope and through my faith. And that's what I share. And in that journey with tears and fears and sometimes chuckles and just experiencing it all. So
Yeah. Now, just a quick question. Russ Tuttle, are you familiar with that gentleman at all?
I am not. I'm sorry.
Okay. He does where he goes around. Now he's starting to go around to the U.S., but he's talking about preventing kids from being trafficked.
Okay.
He goes
Okay.
to
Yeah.
high schools and stuff. He's with the Stop Trafficking Project. He
Amen.
goes to Washington D.C. and fights for getting more awareness of sex trafficking and whatnot. But he hears stories all the time about how kids get tricked into trafficking, become sexually abused. Some of them from their parents. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Sure. And that
And
was my story. I didn't realize that I was trafficked, not till years later,
Yeah.
because I was at a conference one time and I was telling a gentleman who works with trafficking awareness and support. I was telling him my testimony about how when I was a child, my abuser would sell me, if you would, or lend me out, or whatever perverted thing they would do. And
right,
he said to me, he said, Mark, you were trafficked. And I said, no, traffic's when they put you on a plane and they fly you around the world and they lock you up here. He said, no.
No.
And so I realized that I was trafficked because my
Yeah.
abuser would, for whatever his vice was at the moment or whatever his sick perversion was, that he
Yeah.
used me as for that. So, yeah, again, it can, it's not getting put on a plane and flown around the world. It's often just what's happening right in your backyard.
yeah, no, and that's the thing that blows so many people away. They're like, "What do you mean?" It's yeah, right next door to you, right now. It could be happening. I mean,
That's right.
that's
Yeah.
how commonplace it has become,
Sure.
and how sick and twisted this world has become, and how just obsessed with the perversity of it all. And if for the people listening on the audio version of this, we've got pastor and author Mark Sowersby with us, author of Forgiving the Nightmare. Now, you've written another book.
Yes, yeah, my wife and I wrote it together, so half of it's gonna be great.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
3/4, but okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's another book we called Letters to the Weary. I got to put on my pastor hat a little bit more. It's a devotional, and it's to the same genre, if you would. It's still to tell the people that sometimes gone through the journey of forgiveness, have confessed forgiveness, but still feel, hey, I'm still waking up every day. And I said the prayer, I put $2 in the plate, I went to church, I did it, but yet I'm still waking up. So we wrote this to kind of encourage people to go, listen. Jesus said, "Come to me, who all are heavy burdened and worried, and I'll give you rest." And I want to give this book. I hope points people to that rest they'll find. Say, you know what? I don't have to be what my past says I am. I'm a new creation.
Start making peace. Yeah,
That's right.
no, absolutely. And now this is also available on Amazon, or
It
you
is.
can go to forgivingthenightmare.com, correct?
You can go to my website, forgivingthenightmare.com, or you go to Amazon, and both books are there. Letters to the Weary just came out January 14th, so it's brand new.
That's a brand spanking new book.
Brand spanking new.
And now, so your movie, you've got a trailer for it, and I believe we have access to this. Do we?
We do. Yes, we do.
All right, let's take a quick little roll, and for everybody who is watching, you can see down here at the bottom how to find Mark and anything about him, his website, and all that. I just wanted to make that quick note. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage.
Running the clip. Here we go.
Marky.
He's ready to see you now. That'll be the third door on the left.
Okay. Yeah. No. Creepy. I mean, yeah. I mean, dude, that music that lets you feel the weight of the gravity
tone for sure.
I mean, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And yeah, it makes you want to go punch that guy. I'm just saying, because I know.
And it's based on a true part of my life. It's based on a part of my life when, for my journey, I felt like God was telling me to go tell my abuser that I forgave him, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go. I said, God, but eventually God wins. I went tell them, and he didn't accept it. It wasn't a warm and fuzzy kumbaya moment. He still rejected it, and I realized that I wasn't just speaking to my abuser. I was speaking to fear. I was telling fear, you don't have control over me anymore. And that's what we kind of try to talk about in the film. And again, if you want to know more about see the trailer, you go to forgivingthenightmarefilm.com, forgivingthenightmarefilm.com. You can see the trailer there, or at forgivingthenightmare.com. Again, appreciate your prayers, because we're up for that crowd award, and that gets us a little bit more exposure.
That is so cool. And you guys just started putting that out on the film circuit. So
we did.
So you guys are
talking to people. We're talking to people.
So
some studios with names you might know, faith-based community. We're talking to. We're having conversations, but I pray a lot. That's what I do.
That's all we can do, my man. Now,
so what has it been like? What has it been like for people who have seen the film? And again, you're having these conversations now around people who are just getting to know sort of what happened to you through the film, and now they're reaching out to you. What are those conversations like?
Well, there's two kinds of people that kind of contact me. The one that say, thank you for bringing awareness. It must have been hard for you. It must have been difficult, but it's so needed. And we get a lot of that. Thank you for being a voice in the community. And then I get the other person who went through what I went through in one way or another.
How many of those?
Yeah, I get a lot of those because I think we share a common language. We share a language of trauma. We share a language of hurt. We share a language of this pain, unfortunately. And I think we try to capture the language, but also the freedom that we can have when we forgive, let go, and start living. So I get a lot of that. For instance, I was preaching not too long ago, and I was, in our faith tradition, we open up the altars, and this woman came to the altar. She had to be in her mid to late 70s. And there with tears in her eyes, she said, I've never told anybody. For the first time in her life, in her late 70s, and her family came and rallied around her. Her children who were adults rallied around her. So, these are the experiences we're seeing of people sharing their story, going, "You helped me," and it's not me. Believe me, it's not me. I'm just sharing my testimony, and if it could bring hope and faith and grace, I'm glad to do it.
That's what it's about. And I mean, again, that's the one thing that, like, it blew me away when we first talked a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago?
About that. Yeah, about that.
Somewhere around there. Just when we started talking about your story, and then I delved into it some more, I was just like, oh my gosh. It's not just the story itself, but how you turned around and, tried to make peace, and you extended the olive branch first and foremost, and that just blew me away.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking a topic like this on your show and be willing to highlight it and say, listen, wherever you've been through. Again, my story, I like to think, is a story of forgiveness, a story of grace, a story of, and no matter what you've been through, let us not be trapped and owned by that.
And that's the thing. It's relative to so many, self-abuse, which, is alcoholism, drug addiction, anxiety, depression. Then there's sexual abuse, there's physical abuse. I mean, there's so many different forms of abuse, and you make it relative to all of it.
Well,
I mean, anybody can really, and the great thing is, like you said, there's people that are coming up and just saying, I've never told anybody, because that's what they need to do. They need to tell somebody. They need to talk to someone. Biggest thing when I was an addict and alcoholic was finally just saying, I'm an alcoholic. I'm an alcoholic. I see.
You still can't say it.
Done. See what happened to me? No, it's the biggest thing is admitting your problem.
Well, one of the biggest lies is when we go through trauma lies to us to say, you're the only one that's ever gone through this.
Yeah.
You're the only person that's ever been abused. You're the only alcoholic there ever was. You're the only one that through that ugly divorce. You're the only one that ever got pulled over for that.
Hear it. Nobody wants to hear.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So it isolates us, right? The trauma isolates us. So then we start listening to ourselves, which is oftentimes, like me, I came up through dysfunction. I didn't know how to, I was just so broken and messed up. So until I poured it out to people in my community, my faith community, my pastor, my coaches, my friends, when I started to, but it was hard because one of the first casualties, and not the only casualty of any trauma, is you don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be vulnerable to anybody. But as you learn to let go a little bit, as it gets pried out of your hand in that community and in that place of help, but like if you're expecting perfect people, there's no perfect people, but there are people who have been through what you've been through in one way or another. And that helped me being able to kind of, I'm not crazy. I'm just hurt. I need help. Yeah. Counselors, friends, coaches, pastors, the whole thing. Yeah. I looked at the ink blots. What do you see? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a spaceship. Oh wait, no, that's what I saw.
I think it's Venus.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, is that Bill Clinton? Okay. And there's chicks running from him.
Depends.
I'm sorry, women running from him. I'll be as PC as chicks. It's Bill Clinton. They're chicks. Again, like I said, this story and the way you tell it, you make it so relative, and the thing is, like you said, it's defeating the lies that you've been told, because the enemy is feeding you those lies, and that's what he wants. He wants you to stay in that darkness. He wants you to stay in that place alone. He doesn't want anybody else around you, family, whoever, friends. or who you think are friends and you think that they don't want to hear. And if they run away, they ain't meant to be there, you know?
Fear always locks us up. Fear always locks us up. There's a story in the Bible where the disciples were behind closed doors because they were afraid. It's in John chapter 20. They said they were behind this. They were afraid of the Jews in the city, so they stood behind this door, locked up because of fear. But when Jesus walked in, they said they were overjoyed. The only thing that changed, they didn't change their location. They didn't even open the door. They didn't get a raise. The only thing that changed was Jesus walked in. And that's what happened in my life. And I think that's what my hope is for everybody that's dealing with a trauma. When we let God walk in, and God walks in and brings friends and brings people. And, however God walks into your life, I think that's where we can have peace and joy in Jesus. So fear always locks us up. No matter who we are. Oh, you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're too fat. You're too ugly. You're too small. You're not rich enough. You're dumb. All those lies that tragedies and pain puts on us. But there's hope. And in that hope, we learn to laugh again. We get our joy back. We get our joy and we can laugh and we can smile. And I don't feel like the worst thing in the world anymore. I don't have to, for a long time, I felt like I was not even good enough to be on the bottom of somebody's shoe. I'd walk in a room and go, what am I doing here? I have no value being here. But now I can say, hey, listen, I'm not the worst, not the best thing, but maybe not the worst thing either. So.
I'm not that shiny new car kind of thing,
No,
but
definitely not.
I'm a really good used Hyundai, maybe.
And I'm a minivan guy. French fries on the cover. That's it.
Well, and that's the bonus. French fries on the floor, saved for later.
Come on,
nice warm day. Boom, those are snacks.
That's it.
Just not that I've done that, but it may have happened. It probably happened last night. So
I used to tell people before I was married, you could literally eat off my floor of my cars. I was that guy. I kept, and now
it was clean.
No, back then it was clean. My car, I was wax on, wax off. I mean, I was that guy. And then I got married. I had kids, and now I'm like, what? Do I smell? What? Oh, Dad, I'm sorry. I thought that was milk. Now it's cheese.
And that can happen for one of two reasons.
I was in a band when I lived back in California, and my two bandmates were fathers before I was, and I always gave them all sorts of crap about how dirty their cars were because they would bring the stuff, right? And I forgave them the instant I knew what it was like to just have. I mean, and they had more kids than I did, so their mess was double what mine was, but I still had the mess in my car from having a kid. So I called them.
What's the old song say? You don't know what it's like until you walk in their shoes, right?
That's right.
Yeah. You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
All right. So Mark, so what are we doing next? What's happening? Oh, here, let me get the crawler up again. It's Mark. We got Mark Sowersby with us, pastor and author. Forgiving the Nightmare is the first book. I'm sorry, the second title eludes me again.
Letters to the Weary.
Letters to the Weary. They're both out on Amazon right now, or you can go to the website that I'm putting up right now. There it is. Forgivingthenightmare.com. You go there, you can find out about it, the movie, all the awards it's winning. And you can get those two books through that website or again through Amazon.com. If you've never heard of Amazon, it's not just a river anymore. And amazing. The Forgiving the Nightmare is just an amazing read. So highly suggest it. And if you know anybody who's been through this, get them the book, man. Get them the book. Let's help everybody out that we can, where we can, and pray for them all. I mean, this is no light subject, even though we do make light of it and have some fun with it, but it's because we're trying to bring awareness to it as well. That's and right. that is our biggest part. Okay, so please understand that when we're having fun with this, it's because it is an awkward conversation. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to present, and we're trying to present it in the best light possible, but still as informative and as serious as possible. And
well, and to that point, it's a tribute to where Mark is in his journey on this.
Absolutely.
Right? The fact that he can be so open and so honest about it, but at the same time, share it in a way which doesn't hit you over the head with it. Definitely paints the picture, but again, allows you to have a more open conversation versus, I I would feel comfortable about talking to Mark about something, that something that happened to me if I needed to, right? Just because I know that he would treat it with this sort of the level of seriousness that it needs to be dealt with, but at the same time, allow me sort of the option to deal with it in the way that I need to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nope, absolutely.
And when I preach this or share it in seminars or sermons, obviously you're backing up the dump truck of emotions and traumas, and people are just getting hit, right? It's like,
yeah.
And sometimes it has to. We gotta deal with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. We gotta deal with these things and not bury them, because when they bury them, they hurt us. But I use humor not to make light of, not to make fun of, not to make it small, but to give a person a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
Give like, I gotta catch my breath. Wow, you just hit me.
I get a little space.
Yeah, like, hey, I just talked to this guy who was molested from the time he was 7 to 14. He was, he's beat up and burnt and stabbed and sold to others. I mean, wow, what do I do with that? Then there's a moment where, listen, I want to tell you, a part of my victory is that I can laugh. A part of my testimony is that I could laugh, and I could only laugh because I'm set free. I'm not laughing at my past. I'm not laughing at those events. I'm not laughing at those who have gone through it. But now I have a joy unspeakable. And I have a peace that comes with forgiveness, the forgiveness that I have received from God, and the forgiveness God's helped me give out to others.
Yep. Dude. Yeah. Oh, there. That was said. And again, I think you said something as phenomenal at the last time. It was just, I just sat there. I was like, whoa. I can't. And then of course, oh yeah, I'm on a show. I'm not just sitting here listening. So, anyway, so Mark, I know you got the movie out on tour right now. The book's just released. You can find it on Amazon. What else? You got anything else that you got coming up that we need to be talking about besides? Oh, you're also on the show on
TCT Network called Ask the Pastor on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us online. TCT Ask the Pastor. It's on every day at 2:30. But if you want to see my ugly mug, it's on Mondays. That's the day I'm on.
Now, for this show, do they need to submit questions early, or is it more of a live conversation?
They could go right, just like on your show. There's a box, and the producers read the box. They go on Facebook, they go on Instagram. I think there's different people could call in, they can email. So yeah, we get live questions, and that's always fun, getting live questions as a pastor.
Oh yeah.
What's been is there, obviously you don't have to share it, but is there one that has stood out that just made it?
Well, it's funny because when you prepare for this, I really put on my theology hat. I want to know that I don't know. And probably the two questions I probably get most is, what about our pets? Is our dogs and cats go to heaven?
Yeah.
And then next question, what about cremation and burial? We get that question so many times.
Yeah.
There's other questions, but I probably think in my short tenure there, a little less than almost a year, I've probably had those questions more than once about who.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
No, and I was going to say you I'm sure as a pastor get a gambit of questions and some not so silly and some kind of okay, yeah. Butterflies do go to heaven. They're from heaven, so that's where they return to. They're just visiting here. That's what I used to tell my daughters all the time. But the butterflies did. Now it's on its way to heaven. It'll be fine. But okay, so we got the movie, the book, and we can see on TCT. The next biggest thing is to get this movie accepted and pushing. You're talking to studios now, correct?
We are. Yeah, we're talking to.
Is it maybe Angel Studios?
Maybe there's a conversation.
That's in case there's lip readers.
Maybe,
They
I
can't
don't
really
know.
tell.
I don't
No,
know.
okay,
I don't know.
yeah.
So, and have you seen that on like TikTok or something? Somebody's sitting there reading people's lips because they're in the background talking, and they hire a lip reader to read what they're saying. That is cheating. That is you're screwed. So now everybody's got to walk around talking like this, so that way you can't tell exactly what they're saying, and I can get away with doing whatever I want, and talking about Angel Studios and making your movie $1 million.
I know nothing.
What are you talking about? I have no idea. Disney was going to film it or something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Disney's owned by Satan. Sorry. That doesn't work. All right. So listen, Mark, we're running short on time, so we're gonna have to bring you back again.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
And we will make sure that we pay it off in pizza and nachos. But they come from Venus, so it's going to take a little while. Plus, Clinton's gonna have to bring them. They may be eaten by the time I'm just saying they'll be warm. They'll be warm because Venus is very hot. So figure by the time they probably won't make it. So let's just move on.
What are you thinking?
What were you thinking? This, Mark?
Yes.
Is what
are you thinking?
Yes, we have what's called a new game now because the other guy who we're not hearing from right now got tired and a little sleepy. So we have a new gentleman that lives up in the rafters, and he wants to know what you were thinking. It's a little game word association game, I guess we should call it, and it's a lot of fun. You're going to be the first person breaking it in. I was gonna say, so hold on tight. There's really no wrong answers, but there might be. But for the most part, it's just a fun word association game, and those little electrodes that are underneath your seat have nothing to do with any wrong answers. I'm just saying that right now, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw some words or phrases out. You give us what you think is the best association with that word or phrase.
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you sure? Because I'm not sure I am.
Okay, Chuck Willily, ask me. Go ahead.
Let's start with things found under a bed.
Socks, slippers, dust mites, spiders, toys.
Yes. Two of those were wrong answers, but that's fine. And you forgot about the leftover food, but we'll let that one slide because you've grown up and you said you kept your car fairly clean. All right, Andy.
Things you see from the airplane window.
Clouds, sky, mountains,
Venus,
buildings, engines.
There you go.
My reflection.
Yeah, nice.
Not the man on the wing. That is not real, Mark.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, right. Unless it was back in my day.
Yeah, I
saying that there was a man on the wing. I'm just
that's right.
Condiments.
All right.
One word.
Mayonnaise.
That's an excellent condiment.
The universal condiment, if you will.
It really is, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, mustard is one side, ketchup is the other, but right there, it works with everything. Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Mark, have you tried mayonnaise on French fries?
Oh, who hasn't?
Okay. This is why we're becoming best friends. Andy.
Types of sandwiches.
I'm a traditional ham sandwich kind of guy. Bacon. I'm not a big tomato guy, so But my lettuce, my bacon, my ham. Yeah,
Okay.
a good, as we say, grinder here in New England.
There you go.
Grinder.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Now let me ask you this, because ham, bacon, both delicious, but also not biblically correct.
Well, you're correct if we were living by the law, but thank God that Peter had a vision. Get on that rooftop.
Yes.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was great.
Oh, that was the best answer so
It
far.
was.
Oh, why did I even look at this one? Because now I have to ask it. I know the answer. Why am I even doing this to myself? Famous athletes.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Larry Bird.
Oh, hey, no, Bird.
Yeah.
Larry freaking Bird.
Come on. Big Poppy.
Dude, oh man, I've watched a few behind the scenes stories about Larry Bird from other players in the NBA that played with him. And like Magic Johnson has the best stories about Larry Bird. It's anyway, that's a whole nother show. Mark, quit trying to drag the show on. Andy, one more.
Song titles.
Amazing Grace.
Oh, good.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Nope, no, we're stopping it right there. Just because it seems funny to me. Ways to cook something. We're ending it on that one.
A microwave. I'd probably get in trouble if I said I asked my wife.
Yeah.
She's like, it's gonna be the frying pan, is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Ding. Yeah. All right. Well, that was.
What are you thinking?
And with Mark Sowersby, our little wrap up fun game at the end of the show. Again, we have Pastor Mark Sowersby with us, author of Forgiving the Nightmare, and dadgummit, what is the second
Letters
book?
to the Weary.
There we go. Letters to the Weary, just out just at the end of January, you said? Just so it's fresh.
Yep, it's brand new. It came out on the 14th.
So you can find that at you can go to Mark's website, forgivingthenightmare.com, to find out about his movie, get those 2 books or check them out. Highly suggest Forgiving the Nightmare for anybody who has ever suffered or knows anybody suffering with abuse. Get them that book, get them to read it, and help them get help. All right. In the meantime, Mark, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. I know it's late back where you're at, and we're cutting into dinner and movie time, so it's time to get rolling. Thank you so much, my friend. Please come back and spend some more time with us here, and we'll talk some more about your movie soon. All right, my friend?
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Have a great weekend. Peace out, my friend.
God bless. Thanks.
All right. All right, Mark Sowersby, so awesome, so great, so much fun. I mean, God, you seriously can we just don't have enough time in this show.
Right.
Anymore. Yeah. But, oh, guys, so great. And, again, seriously, if anybody out there is suffering or knows anybody suffering from any kind of abuse, really, Mark's was more of a sexual matter, but his story is still relative to the entire process and how he overcame and forgave. And that's really what it's all about. So make sure you get that book, Forgiving the Nightmare. You can find it on Amazon or forgivingthenightmare.com, Mark's website. If you find the movie playing at one of your local film festivals, go check it out. It's a great little clip. Like you said, I think you said it was about 20 minutes long, but hey, in this ADD world, that's about 3-hour saga right there, man. But hey, this is how we roll, and this is how we do things. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to check us out, be with us. We will not be here next week, by the way.
No.
Why is that, Andy? Why will we not be on the air?
Because we both enjoy being married.
Yeah, yeah, and alive.
Yes.
So,
Right. Yes.
living, next week is Valentine's week, and, I actually, have plans. Me and my wife have made a date to
Excellent.
go and, you know, do the Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah.
And did the music kick on?
I don't hear it.
I don't either. I really feel that, that whole trip to
There
Mars
you go.
thing. There we go. That really fried some of our solar panels that are powering the old
Yeah.
USS Random Prize.
Right.
USS Random Prize. Or the Millennium Random. What will yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, the Mars trip was a bust. So
It was.
thank God for Venus.
That's right.
And Bill Clinton. Thanks, Bill. hope everything's okay with you and Hill. And his daughter, $84 million in U.S. aid. Oh, all politicians, they aren't all bad. Yes, they are all bad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just boom! Nails it right there. No, they're evil. Anyway, so won't be here, but the following week, yeah, 007 wannabe himself, Travis Dunn, coming back to the show for he's a 3-peater, 4-peater.
This might be a 4-peat.
I think this is his 4-peat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful with that because Travis will take it to the extreme.
Of course.
And yes, paddle enthusiast, actor, comedian. So if you're in a room with Travis, just keep your back to the wall.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yes, no, it's going to be so much fun having our good friend Travis back on the show. He's got a lot of little projects going on himself, so that'll be great. In the meantime, kids, we're going to take off because again, we like to be married, stay married, and be alive. So for me and for that guy right over there, Andrew, want to say thank you so much. Like, follow, subscribe, share, pass the word around. Be good. Take care of each other. We're all we got out there, kids. Thank you for all you do and everything we do to find the end credits to roll. Every week, I have this problem.
It's in the same spot.
It really is, isn't it?
I can run them.
But all right, peace out, kids. Love you. God bless you.